So, good morning again. We have many awards, but being many does not mean that they are not important. They are all very important and given out to excellent academics that have been supporting our society, our work, and of course the junior members of our community. So I consider this a very important function of our association, and I'm really honored to give out all these awards. So the first award, if you want to change the slide, the first award is the European Award for Researchers in Environmental Economics under the age of 40. And this is an award that takes a lot of time to decide on, because it's not just what you did, but the potential you show into influencing the research in our community, and also the greater area of economics and even interdisciplinary aspects of research. So you need to really understand what's the potential of this person. The award goes to Lind Paraguet, and you can change the slide. Lind is Associate Professor and Chair of Energy and Climate Economics at ETH. I have mine. Oh, dear. Thank you. Okay. So, Lind, are you here? Lind is Associate Professor and Chair of Environmental Economics at ETH Zurich. She works on environmental processes and policies and investigates how they affect microeconomic outcomes and human welfare. She has been very efficient in identifying policy issues and answering them with novel research and methods and applied methods, not just the theoretical sketch of the model, but also apply the methods and provide evidence-based policy recommendations. I don't see her here, but we thank her deeply for her amazing work, and we will all follow what she does in the future. She's now moved from the US to Zurich, and of course that makes her closer, she will be closer to the European community. But she has always been very close to the European community with many junior researchers around here. So thank you very much for your work, Lind. Our next award is Eric Kebe Award in Environmental and Resource Economics. This is an award we give out every 2 years. It's a very prestigious award, and people that have received this award have had a very important footprint on the research directions of our community. So the award is given for a specific paper, and this time the award goes to two people, two co-authors. The paper they wrote is titled Yellow Vest, Pessimistic Beliefs and Cardboard Tax Aversion. It's an exciting paper, and it's written by Thomas Duen and Adrien Fabre. Do I pronounce any of the names correctly? No, but they know me, so they don't take an offense in that. So, is Adrian here? Oh. So, thank you very much. So let me just say that this is a paper you really need to read if you haven't done so. It's exciting because it provides robust evidence of how beliefs can influence policy support, and then it also showcases that if we're going to have effective climate policies and policies that are going to actually be implemented, then and be sustained for the long run, it is important that we identify people's beliefs and we integrate in the design of the policy making. And this is so crucial for implementation. It's the characteristic that most of all, I think, through my research, will define whether a policy will be successfully implemented or whether it will not be implemented at all. So thank you very much for the amazing work. You should talk more about, this is a very nice plug, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You should say something.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thomas and I are extremely grateful for being awarded the Eric Kempe Award. We would like to thank all people who supported this research, in particular our PhD supervisors, Kathleen Schubert and Moez Foda. I'm also grateful to the Yellow Vests themselves, without whom this paper wouldn't exist. And for those who haven't read and won't read the paper, I may summarize it in one sentence. We causally identify the reasons for the rejection of carbon taxation in France during the Yellow Vest movement. These are pessimistic beliefs and perceptions concerning key properties of the policy, namely its effectiveness at tackling climate change, its cost to people, and its fairness. And I'd also like to disparage some misconception about the Yellow Vest. People in France, including Yellow Vest, are concerned about climate change and are generally supportive of climate policies. They don't oppose all climate policies, and we've seen that in subsequent surveys 6 months before and 6 months after the Yellow Vest movement. The support for carbon taxation was 3 times higher than during the movement. And so Thomas and I have continued to, I'm also very grateful to the committee for putting the spotlight on attitudinal surveys, because as Phoebe says, public support for climate policies is a key element for their success. And surveys are probably the best tool available to us to gain some insights about the support. Now, Thomas and I have continued to run surveys. I've just presented one yesterday that sparked an animated debate. And indeed, the results of this new survey have perhaps even deeper implication than these from this paper, as they show strong support for global redistributive policies across 20 countries, including in countries that would lose from the policies that would benefit low-income countries. So I'd like to end on a positive note that public attitudes are not always a barrier to climate or other policies. They can also be a catalyzer. Thank you very much.
And it's amazing how young these people are, you know? ERI fellow programs. Okay, we have a fellow program. Our fellows are elected based on excellence or research that has supported and shaped our community. These are people that have help the community through their own research, through a big number of PhD students. They are excellent teachers. They served the association through various posts. They've run conferences. They have been presidents. They have really supported voluntarily the research community, in addition to their excellence as researchers, which is, of course, the most important aspect of the function that we consider for these awards. So, this year we have 2 fellow selections. There were many nominations. There was a committee to select them, and I'm excited to have 2 awardees that you all know. They are very, very high-profile researchers. And I will introduce each one in a row. So, Frederick Clarkson, University of Gothenburg. Please. We all read, I want a bit of water. Can I have some water? We all read your work. We are all extremely grateful to all that you have contributed. I'm one of your most detailed readers. You do not know, but I am. And I just want to say 2 words, thank you, dear. Thank you, Sylvia. 2 words about your commitment throughout the years on producing excellent and policy-relevant research. All of us that apply environmental valuation and work on environmental regulation have read your papers many and many times over. Every time you read the paper, you discover some other very important aspect that you should take into account for your research to really produce something valuable. You have published in all the good journals of our field and beyond. You are a much appreciated lecturer, and you have leadership and gave your wisdom to a big number of PhD students, and we are all grateful to you, and also for your commitment and support of 3 ERI conferences scientific committee. Thank you so much for being with us throughout the years. You can say 2 minutes something. 2 minutes.
Well, as a friend of mine said, we've reached the older part of this award ceremony. I just wanted to say thank you for this award. I'm really, really honored. And trust me, I know how difficult it is to run a conference. It's a lot of fun, but it's a lot of hard work. So I think you should all appreciate all the hard work that people have done here. I would also like to say a special thanks to my supervisor, Thomas Sterner, who has supported my career for, I don't know, 30 years now, almost 25 at least. He has really sort of been the one key factor for me standing here, actually. So thank you, Thomas. And thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much. Congratulations. The next elected fellow is, again, a person of a very important footprint for our community. Till Regate, please come up. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you very much. You look so young. Well, let me say just a few things, but you know, it's when you talk about people that everybody knows and everybody knows your work, is really not very interesting what you have to say, but there are 2 highlights that are noted About Till, he also won the Eric Keber Award for his paper. I'm sure most of us have read it, Environmental Policy Incentives to Adopt Advanced Abatement Technology. Will the true ranking please stand up? And of course, he co-authored the textbook most of us uses. I use the translation of this for my environmental economics course in Greece, which is a course in environmental economics, of course. Till has published widely. He was part of the scientific committee of the 2011 conference. And of course, he has supported and helped the community with many PhD students that are now professors across the world. Till, thank you so much for all that you did.
Yeah, thank you very much, Phoebe. This came very unexpected. I feel very honored. I've been on many ERIC conferences. The first one was '93 in Krakow. And to confess, this is the first conference where my paper has been rejected. So actually, I'm on the decreasing branch of my career now, and but now it's too late. You have decided already. Yeah.
You know what? We had 1,200 submitted papers.
Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. Yeah, I thank all my friends who have supported me, and I didn't have an advisor in environmental economics, so I can't thank him because he was in a completely different field and he let me do what I wanted to do, so I did my own path. And yeah, thank you so much, and thank you also for organizing this great conference.
Thank you so much. I just want to say that we elect fellows, but then we ask them to do quite a lot. So, so the fellows are the wisdom of our community. They are these experienced, successful people that have proven that they can offer a lot to our community. So we go back to them with requests to join committees for awards, to write, maybe edit small element books that we are now launching with Cambridge University Press to write about cutting-edge issues that can form the future of our research. We get advice from them for new initiatives and for sketching the pathway of the community. So it's not just an award, it's an invitation to help. So let's continue. We are gonna now announce now the Best Doctorate Dissertation Award, the ERC Awards, and the Outstanding Publication in ERI Award. So, the award for Best Doctorate Dissertation goes to 3 people, 3 different amazing dissertations, and I can tell you how much work this is, and I want to thank very much the committee for this. I've done this for 2 years, and I think I read so many PhDs that I haven't done for the whole of my career. Because the work that is done is of extreme high quality. When the awardees come out, I send the PhDs that have been awarded to my PhDs, and the reaction is, oh my God, maybe I should give up. Because they're so high quality, and already some of the papers are published to very important journals. So this is a very, very tough competition, I can tell you. And it's an honor to get this, really, believe me, because the competition is really large and tough. So the first awardee is Maria Alcina Pujon. She's not here. She wrote essays on macroeconomics and the environment. and she's from ETH Zurich. The second one is Manuel Listenmeyer, Empirical Essays on Economics of Climate Change. And the third one is Paul Lohmann, Human Behavior and the Environment, Experiments in Behavioral Environmental Economics. I read it because I do something similar now, and I got a lot of insights. That is amazing. So come up, both of you. So you can have Manuel say thank you to us.
Yeah, thank you, Phoebe. Thank you to the nomination committee and to the council.
Do you want to say two things about your work?
I feel very humbled to receive this award for the work that I did at the London School of Economics. I'm now at Columbia University. And yeah, I want to thank you say thank you to my supervisors, first of all, who pushed me along this journey, provided guidance, kept me on track. Thank you, Simon Dietz and Sefid Roth and James Rising. I think without you, I would not be standing here today. I would also like to thank my co-authors, some of whom are, I think, in the audience, for also pushing me over the finish line, and to many of my fellow PhD students, because this PhD thesis was written mostly during a global pandemic, and sometimes it felt a bit we were all stranded on an island. And I think, at least in retrospect, I couldn't say that I could have found like a better group in this kind of middle of this unpredictable ocean, really, of what was happening around us. So thank you, and thank you to all of you. This is now my third ERI conference, and I already feel a bit at home here. This has been become my academic home. So thank you for all of those who make it feel home to me and to others. And this award is, of course, also a great encouragement to continue contributing to our community. So thank you.
There you go. Why do we say Columbia? Do you have something to do with Columbia? You are now at Columbia.
Yes, I'm now at Columbia University.
Okay.
Yes.
Congratulations. You are an assistant professor at Columbia now?
I'm a postdoc.
At a postdoc. Well done, and all the best for your future career. Well done, Simon. Paul.
Yes, thank you very much. Just want to say a few words. It's an incredible honor to receive this award, and I'm really grateful to be standing here today. I want to thank my PhD supervisor, Andreas Contolion. He's here today. Thank you for being such a great supervisor and for supporting me along the way. And I also want to say special thanks to Elisabeth Xottbauer, who co-authored many of my papers and from who I've learned a great deal, so thank you as well. And finally, thank you to the ERI community, to all of you here. I was lucky enough to go to 4 ERI conferences during my PhD, and not only did I receive a lot of great feedback on my work, but I also met a lot of fantastic people, and the work you do is truly inspiring, so thank you very much.
Congratulations. Thank you so much. We all learned so much from Andreas Condoleon. I've learned how to do choice experiments 25 years ago from Andreas Condoleon. You are very lucky to have him as a supervisor. Okay, next is this ERC category. So the European Research Council is really our most prestigious research funding in Europe and beyond. It funds researchers from all over the world. The amount of Nobel Prizes that derive from work that has been done in ERC is quite impressive. And I'm heavily involved in the administration of the ERC, and I know that there is a lot of effort to really identify talent across the world, and where we see that the awards are low in terms of geographical distribution, we try to increase that by incentivizing the research community there, because talent can be found anywhere, And it's so crucial not to forget about the talent that sits in places where the academic community is not mature enough. And it's not only about moving scientific talents to the mature ecosystems in Europe and the US and so on. It's also about supporting them in the countries they are, so that they can start creating a network and an ecosystem that is scientifically robust and excellent in those countries. And this is one of the major worries of the ERC now, but also one of the very important benefits. With regards to our selection, what we do every year when we have the announcements for both the starting grant, the consolidated grant, the advanced grant, the synergy grants, we scan through the grants, we identify those that are relevant to environmental economics, and then there is a committee that decides who will be awarded the IRI ERC Lotteretta Awards among those that fall in the category of each grant. This year, the starting grant goes to Matthias Rennaert. Matthias, are you here? You're here. Well done. This is an amazing start for your career. So please.
Thank you for this award. It's an honor to receive it together with ERC support, and I hope this will be a continuing kickstart for my career.
And
Thank
what
you all.
are you focusing on?
I will explain in the next session. We will all explain our ERC grants, but it's focused on 3 angles: congestion, spatial arrangement of the economy and policy, and then also the spatial effects of transport sector policy. So,
Very interesting. Good luck.
thank you.
Congratulations. Now, this year, we had many consolidators grants that fall under the category environmental economics, and we ended up with 2 that we couldn't separate in terms of which one is the best. So we decided to give 2 awards for the consolidator grant, one to Tobias Berg and the other one to Massimo Tavoni. I think Massimo is here. So Massimo is working on debiasing the uncertainties of climate stabilization and samples. And I can tell you that I was supposed to be a reviewer, and I said, I cannot do this. I know this guy. I like him very much. I will overrate the thing. So I was in the discussions afterwards. I was not able to say anything, of course, because I said, I know you. But the reports were glorious. I've never heard of an ERC award that did not have a negative comment. So, Massimo.
Thank you, Phoebe. And thanks to the IRI for the double award, also to Tobias. So I've been a tangential IRI member, coming in to this community and contributing to this community. But my research is also a bit more on, let's say, more climate science, detailed process modeling. But I must say, this award and also the previous one, also from ERC, got a lot of inspiration from the IRI, actually. As a matter of fact, I learned a lot in these conferences from many of you, also specifically on this topic, and previously more on behavioral economics. So thanks to IRI for kind of allowing me to kind of venture towards economics a bit more. And I should also say, coming to IRI every few years, I also noticed that IRI has also changed. And there's much more also art science coming into these conferences right now, much more climate as well. So it seems like a lot of cross-fertilization And thanks again.
Thank you,
Phoebe.
Massimo. You know how we economists are. We are slow accepting other sciences, but we really need to get more into the interdisciplinary.
And it seems like this is, judging also from the sessions, it seems
It's
this is
changing.
happening a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's due to some people like you that help us accelerate the process.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you so much.
And the advanced grant goes to Bart Hastad. He's not here. He's a very prominent person in our community. He has amazing publications. Each publication is really something like a textbook, at least for me and many other people. The award is for a project on space-time. This is how it's called. It's econometric models to evaluate environmental and spatial effects on long-lasting policies. And I think that we all learn a lot from this award. Money well spent from EU taxpayers. So a round of applause for Bart. Before leaving, let me thank these people that have devoted enormous amount of time in order to be able to fairly judge all this literature. And we are deeply thankful to each and every one of them. Ger Ashim, Simone Borghesi, Christian Gollier, Simon Diaz, Catherine Klee, Maria Luiero, Alistair Moreau, Joel Noailly, Ada Woski, and the whole of the ERI Policy Outreach Committee. Apologies for the pronunciation of the names, and thank you all very much for being here and for your amazing work.